this is Amy with Ashworth Classic Patterns, and I want to talk to you about the Everyday t-shirt, our free pattern that came out. And I know a lot of you have downloaded it. It's been very popular, and I just wanted to throw a video out there on how to use the binding attachment. If you have it, or if you're thinking about getting it, looks like this. And our band in the pattern for the t-shirt is a lot longer than what you need, so that you can have enough to go through this attachment, get it all lined up, get it ready before you put it onto your shirt. So you need quite a bit of extra to make sure you've got everything lined up right. So today I want to show you how to do that. Okay, so here is my attachment table. There's a special table that Babylock puts out that fits this attachment. It's not the regular table that goes with it, but what we did was we just registered this where we wanted it and drilled the holes. So it wasn't necessary to buy another table. I don't know how much it costs, but I didn't have it and I wanted to get started, so this is what we did. These are the screws that come with the attachments, a number of the attachments for Babylock, and we had to have a nut because in the regular Babylock attachments, the threads are sort of glued in there in the hole, so you don't need an external nut. But if you're doing like we did, you've got to have that. So anyway, and I've marked it out with a marker so I know exactly where it goes and I don't have to line it up every time. And I'm going to put this on here. And like I said, the band is longer and it says in the directions, so you have a leader. The leader is that extra amount that you need to register all your stitching and make sure it's ready to attach to your garment. All right, so I've already threaded this for a wide cover stitch, which is what we're going to use for this. So you line it up where you want it to be. I'm going to show you a little bit about how this binder is lined up. Okay, so here's how this is lined up. I'm going to get right in here where you can see. This is where the fabric goes through. You see these little ridges right here? See those ridges? Those coincide with the needles, okay? Right here and here, so we're using 1 and 3. So these ridges are going to coincide with the needles. You want this opening so that the binding is going to come and kind of line up with that, and these needles are sort of central to the binding. So it may take a little bit of trial and error, but once you have that set, you don't want to do it again, right? So we just drew around it. First, you need to attach one shoulder, so you have that long neckline, and then put the binding to that. So let's do that right now. Okay, so here's my binding, and you need to make a point on it. So to make the point, you just fold it in half like this and cut at an angle to the tip. Then you have that. You have a point. All right, and we're going to put this through the bicycle rack. Basically take a pin what it will do, we have this in here, I'm pulling that through. I'll try and get real close here so you can see. Pardon my moving. I don't have my video assistant today. Do you see these two sides folding in? It's like that. Okay. And get that up under your presser foot. Now you see why we have to have a lot of extra. Now, you look at these edges. This edge and this edge. They need to be like that. okay? So then when you have that under there and it takes a little bit, you just kind of pull it through. You got it where you want it. Make sure your needles are falling on that binding exactly where you want them to. You see the edge there? So I'm going to lower the needles so you can see where they're falling. Okay, and I'm going to lower the presser foot and sew it a little bit. See that feeding? Let's see. Okay, so that's why we have so much extra on here. We got to register that. Then we're going to insert our neckline right in here. Okay, so we have the binding in. We've got it nice and registered. You want to keep an eye on this piece back here, making sure it's not getting snagged on anything. And we're going to set the neckline with the right side up, starting for that first open shoulder, around through the neckline, past this shoulder, the first one that we connected, and back to the other open shoulder. Okay, so this is the neckline right here. I start at the beginning, and we're just going to introduce the neckline right into that crack right there in the binding foot. And it really does just feed very beautifully into it. See, this is what we're getting. I like these shoulder seams to be pushed toward the back of the garment. So I'm going in the right direction to make that happen. Okay. And then we have plenty of extra at the end that you can just sew it off. But I give you plenty of room at the other end so that you can register it the whole way. Now, if you are not using a binding attachment, do not use, but what you need, take your binder, if you're doing right sides together, fold it wrong sides together, and then pull that binding as you're attaching it to the neckline so that the binding is smaller than the neckline. So when it retracts, it will curve in towards your neck and not gape out. Of the T, okay, that's the armhole. We had one shoulder sewn up previously. Okay, so then we have this long neckline. Here's where we registered it into the binder, went all the way around, and you can see how well that works. Here's the back side of it. That Babylock product I am very happy with. It does what it says it will do. And that's our everyday t-shirt. I hope you can enjoy using the binder with it. When we sew this t-shirt together, then what we're going to do is just put it right sides together. You got to rethread, unless you have a separate machine, you've got to rethread it for overcast stitch. We'll sew it right here at 3/8 of an inch and cut all this excess off. I hope you found this video on using the binding attachment to be helpful. If you would like to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have a favorite method for binding a neckline or sleeves or any other types of binding, and you want to share that with us, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.